So they went on their way, and there was a large crowd around Jesus and Jairus as they went. And there was a little message in there. It said the crowd was with Jesus, but Jairus came to Jesus. The crowd was with Jesus, but Jairus came to Jesus. That lets me know it's got to be more than just show up. You got to come to Jesus. I mean, the choir had it best when they say we got to take it to Jesus. You know, it don't do enough to just be with somebody that knows Jesus. You got to take it to him for yourself. You got to have a personal relationship with him. But the scripture goes on and says Jairus and Jesus started to head out. And in the midst of the crowd, there was a woman. It doesn't give her name, but they just say they entitled the woman that she had an issue of blood. She had had this issue of blood for 12 long years. She was known by the people to be unclean, and she was unable to enter to the temple for worship. This woman had tried many different things to heal herself. She had tried many different doctors. She had tried different methods. She had tried different medicines, and all that she did and all that she spent, her tissue didn't get better, but it got worse. They said she was hemorrhaging, and she had an issue of blood. Now this is theologically sophisticated. I'm going to try to clarify. They say her cycle just went on and on and on. You know, for weeks and days and months and years and years and years. Now, I told you it's theologically sophisticated. I'm going to try to clean it up for y'all. This is amazing to me because I heard about this cycle thing. And then somebody told me that even if you get 3 women in the same household for a long period of time, somehow the cycles come together. And I said, well, how is that? How is that? And then I looked at the lesson and I said, well, if she had it for 12 long years, and I know during the cycle, during that week, you don't want to mess with the woman. So after 12 years, she probably ain't good to be around. But they said she continued on. She had went to many doctors, but nobody could help her. But it said that it went on that the women, even though she was in this situation, and even though she had spent all she can, they got to a point where she ran out of money. And when she ran out of money, the doctor said, well, there's nothing we can do. Surely she gonna die. But she heard about a man named Jesus. And it don't say what she heard. Maybe she heard about the paralyzed man that was lowered into the roof and then walked out on his own 2 feet. Maybe she heard that Jesus put mud on someone's eye and then they could see. All it says is that she heard, and when she heard, that was enough for her to say, I believe it's not over. I believe that if I can just get to Jesus, I believe if I can just touch the hem of his garment. See, I think Donald Lawrence had it best when he said, sometimes in life you got to encourage yourself. You see the doctors that gave up on her, and the friends that gave up on her, and the neighbors that gave up on her. It seemed like the whole world that gave up on this woman, but she said, I believe it's not over. So this woman went to where Jesus was, and when she went to where it was a large crowd of people. And see, this is where a lot of people quit. See, she went to where Jesus was, and there was a lot of people, and she could not see Jesus. And let me let you know, when you get to go to Jesus, the devil will throw some obstacles in your way. And see, she had some obstacles in her way, but the woman was determined, and she believed in Jesus. So she started walking her way on up through the crowd. I mean, she started moving some people. She started pushing her way. She started squeezing her way through. And on her way, as she was going up through the crowd, don't you know, she seen some friends, but she waved at them. She said, I got to keep on going. I'm on my way. And she kept on walking, and she looked over to the left, and she seen her neighbor, but she just kept on walking. And she got up close enough to Jesus, and she seen the doctors, and they were like, what is she doing? And she said, oh, I gotta go. And she just kept on going, and she got to the back of Jesus, and she couldn't see his face, but all she did was reach out her hand healed not only physically, but now she was healed physically. And there's somebody today, I don't know what your issue is. It might be the economy, your relationship, your children, your grandchildren, back pain, sugar, diabetes, cancer, heart, mind, body, and soul. It may be physical, it may be spiritual. But what I come to tell you, whatever you're going through, Jesus is the answer. And while Jesus was speaking to this woman, a certain man came up to Jairus and said, Jairus, don't bother Jesus. Your daughter is now dead.
All right.
See, they was on their way before this happened with the woman. And Jesus heard them talking to Jairus, and he said, be not afraid.
All right.
Believe. It's not over.
It's not over.
Jesus said, take me to her. And we must understand that, brothers and sisters, in life, faith is the remedy during grief. Jesus left the crowd behind, and he only took Peter, James, and John.
All right.
And I don't know why he just took three, but as I read through the scripture, the three was there on several occasions. It said the three was there on the Mount Transfiguration. The three was there in the Garden of Gethsemane. And everybody knows three represent the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Jesus, the truth, the life, and the way. He was, he is, and that which is to come. See, everybody can't be present on your breakthrough. So they had to leave some people behind. But they walked on over to the house, and when they got to the house, there was people out there playing the flutes, hollering and screaming and moaning, weeping loudly. And they said, well, the little girl is dead. And Jesus spoke to them and said, she's not dead, but asleep. And they said, no, Jesus, you don't understand. We are professional mourners. I mean, this is what we do for a living. We go around to dead people, and this is what we do. And if anybody should know that she's dead, professional mourners should have known that she was dead. So they started to scorn Jesus and laugh at him. But Jesus said, no, just get on out the house. Get on out the way. And he took the parents, and he took Peter, James, and John into the house. And he walked up to the little girl. He said, Talitha, come me. Which means, damsel, little girl, rise. And I looked at that and I said, well, why did he say that? And then I got to doing my spiritual language. I said, if he would have just said, rise, don't you know Adam and Eve would have got up?